Hello, hello, hello. It is Zolto Day today in DML. We've been waiting quite a few days because we had to both hatch this guy, unlock it and everything. But today is the day that we finally get to hatch a Divine Ancient for the first time in a good while. So this is of course Zolto, who was the major reward from the Origin of Energy Ancient event. And he had a very nice space age looking egg here, but the great thing about Zolto is the fact that he's actually a trampler body style dragon, and we don't have too many of these in the game yet, so I think that that's a really cool thing about him, because not only does he have the shared best stats in the game with like Oya, Bahajia and the other ancient divines, he also has the new body type. So I'm really happy that we managed to get this guy without spending anything, and his third element being energy means that he's not quite as useful as a couple of the other dragons for the dungeon, but he just has insanely high stats, so you can get a really strong bless, a really strong leech, and, you know, energy you can use it against shields and things like that. But being a pure energy, Zolto is held together thanks to special plating developed by human scientists. In thanks, it has devoted itself to keeping humanity safe. Its volatility makes communication difficult. So, yeah, I don't know. There's some weird things with Zolto, and in the event he had some weird speech going on. And we've got little Joe here. Apparently they've called him Joe. And since it is a trampler, that does mean that we could take a look at the new body type animations as well. I say new, but we've had them for a while now. But like, look, I touch him, and then he acts all weird. He's like some sort of boat. I don't know, that's what he looks like. Cute baby. And then if we've got the food, what's he gonna do? Look at him scooting over. Look at all those legs. How many does he have? 8? That's well, I guess 3 legs and 2 arms. If you can call those arms, they're more like stubs. And he can jump very high, considering that he's probably got a lot of weight on him. Like, I imagine a dragon with this body would really struggle to actually jump. Maybe I'm wrong. But either way, this is little Zolto. And I'm happy that we have him. Look at that cute baby. He's stomping, saying, "Give me more food! Gimme! Gimme!" And he's got a purple tongue. I never realised that about Zolto before. But anyway, we will of course level them up. And this is the adult form of Zolto. But if you were considering using this dragon on a team, say you just got it from this event, it's tough to fit Zolto into a team in a sense. It's kind of weird. Even though he's got the best elements in the game, actually getting any value out of him and getting value out of the energy is the hard bit. Oh my god, he kicks up the food off of the floor. Look at him. Look at him. It's like football. Yeah, you get that up, Zolto. Go, boy. But I imagine that you could probably pair it alongside, say, a Bahajia, and then some sort of strong earth ancient it could be. Or you could also go the other way and go with an Enroger, or possibly, I'd say Oya, but then you're not really going to be able to fit in the last 2 elements that you need, water and earth. Because realistically, you'd want 2 water element dragons on the team if you can. But it's tough to fit them in with a dragon like Zolto, to be honest. But the other thing to be aware of if you were going to add Zolto is, of course, the fact that you would have to enchant it. And trust me, it might look okay in the first few levels, maybe the first 3 to 4, but after that it is absolute hell trying to enchant dragons. Ancient divines, both ancient and divine, is a massive pain to actually get the materials for. And not only the materials, it's mainly the trinkets themselves. Like Enroger here, if we can get an extra level or 2, I think that's probably going to even out our team. But it just requires so many trinkets, because you gotta fuse, and then you gotta fuse the excellence, and then you have to fuse the extraordinaries. And this is a thing that was good about the ancient event from the board, because you can get loads and loads of materials, but now that's over, and it just takes forever. It's a massive pain. Like, this is only gonna take us to 8 stars, and then we still have the final 4. So, rest in peace, our Enroger for now. And rest in peace anyone that hasn't prepared for that with Zolto. But hey, I suppose we'll take Zolto for a quick spin, because again, we like seeing the new body type in action, because again, there aren't many things in DML that actually have unique, I guess, animations, which is kind of disappointing, really, if you think about it, because, like, why would we not have unique animations or anything like that? So we just live with it. We live with it and cry about it for now, but look at him scooting around. Oh, I love looking at them. Like, if we set this to non-auto, look at that look what's it like in ×1? In ×1, you know, you can sort of understand, he's just sort of prepping. In ×2, you know, no, ×2 looks more natural to me on this body type. And then ×4 is like, ho, 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 ho. It looks like he's ready to shank someone. You know what I mean? But definitely an interesting body type, and I do like that they just put up their entire body ready to pounce and then pew! But apart from that, there's not really any much difference between this dragon and any other body type. I do wish it was more like Dragon City in that regard, because every single dragon, apart from very few of them, they all have unique animations, and it just makes them more interesting. Like, even if it's a dragon that otherwise you wouldn't really like the design of, they can have a really cool animation. It's like, wow, you know what? You're pretty neat. You're pretty neat. But in this game, they're all the same. So it can get a little bit disappointing. It's like, oh, I've seen that animation 500 times. But anyhow, that is our new Ancient Divine. But like I said, if you want to use him in the team, you should be, I guess, consider your options first, because if you don't pre-plan a team properly, you might not end up with enough healing. And even though you can make do with a dungeon team with one healer, it's not really advised. And some of the best dungeon teams out there have 2, if not even 3 healers, which I think 3 healers is a little bit over the top. But if you want to have the longest dungeon runs and the other dragons that you have, and you've got like 12 dragons all at max level, for example, it is an option. But I guess for now, our next thing to worry about is going to be next Divine event, because this one, we basically got everything that we wanted, everything is complete. The question now is, what could possibly be coming up in the final Divine event they keep saying? But the problem with saying it's the final Divine event is that they're still going to be releasing Divines. They've said that themselves. But they're just refusing to call those future events Divine events. I don't know, it's misleading to me, them saying on social media, oh, it's the final Divine event ever. But if it's going to have Divines in it, it's basically the same thing. It's just going to make newer players think, oh, final Divine event ever? That means Divines aren't being released ever again? And that's obviously not true. They've already said they're considering different ways to release them. I guess the argument is it's not the main event. That's, as in, they might be in an event that focuses on a different element. Therefore, it's not a Divine event. It might be a primal event that has Divines in it. But I still think saying there's no more Divine events is just misleading in that sense. I don't know, I can't agree with it. Especially considering we've got a lot of casual players. Seeing that in their newsfeed's just going to make them think, well, that's it, no more Divines for me. But at the same time, if the only way they end up re-releasing Divines is in things like the Dragon Master Pass, and I mean in like pay-only ways, that's going to be awful. And I mean awful for this game. Because after this, we've only got, what is it, one more Ancient event as well. And then that's it for the Ancient events as we know it. And right now, they said that they don't really have any plans. Either they don't have any plans for how they're going to re-release Divines and Ancients after that, or they've got some sort of idea, but they're not going to, you know, tell us about it yet. The only thing is, I can't see it being a positive thing to make Divines even less frequent than they were before. Because the problem with newer players starting is that they just need any Divine, really, to get started. Obviously, ideally, we'd have Water Divines, Fire Divines, Earth Divines, things like that, really. But just having one Divine, because of how unbalanced sigils are, makes everything completely different. Your DML life pre-Divines is completely different to your DML life post getting Divines. Mainly just because of Wonder Acceptance, genuinely. I don't know, it's been so unbalanced for so long, but then, again, should I really be surprised that it's been going on for so long when we legitimately have clan dragons that have no use in the game whatsoever, because they just never re-release the clan events? And if you're wondering what I'm talking about in regards to this, if I cancel out of the clan, the arena here, like we're just doing some of these, but if we try to pick a different dragon, like we've got the powers here, but if we go to our collection, like Amora's gonna be useful for Siege, Brimstone we know is also useful for the other event that comes up, Great Dragon Race. The problem is the other clan dragons, Sugar Rush, Gravelist is useless, Emerald Wars, that event hasn't been released in how long now? Has it been like 2 years? In like 2 years, and this dragon has seen no use since. It's just... I just can't understand it. Like, obviously Chip also has his uses in Rupture, but there are some clan dragons that are completely and utterly useless. Cutter, Emerald Wars related again. It's just, I don't know, looking at this and just seeing how this has been ignored for so long is just unreal. They could just change this to something else. I don't even care what it is. At least make it an option. Like, any clan that picks one of these other dragons is just, like, it's like they're intentionally trying to do worse than they could. I know that we've got clans being worked on in this game, so you could say, oh my god, they're working on it, stop panicking. I'm not panicking, it's just, it annoys me so much to see that there is a clan dragon that people spent ages trying to unlock and it has absolutely no use whatsoever. Like, it's just, they could just change that in any update, one update, even for the short term, just to something that is not utterly useless. Even if they don't want to mess with it too much, they could make it really underpowered. I don't care. I just want it to not be useless. I don't know, I guess it's a personal gripe. It just annoys me to no end. Seeing certain things in this game that are just... You'd never pick it, ever. There's no reason to. Why would you pick a dragon for an event that's never being released ever again? Like, right now, we only get 2 clan events, and they're both incredibly boring, and one of them doesn't really give that many gems, so lots of people don't like taking part in it. I don't know, clans in DML are so very tragic. And then you go and play a different game similar to this, and clans are like a central feature that is really important every single week. And it's just like, why have they done it like this? Could you hear it in my voice? I'm just like, why? Why? Anyway. It just, lots of parts of this game feel neglected. I guess that's the problem, and the amount of time it takes for them to make changes is just far too long. And like, we've got Treasure Hunt that's coming up, but the problem with Treasure Hunt is they've made it so that you start off with 100 shovels, which is an improvement, but it's not actually fixing the problem when they could easily just change the amount of shovels that we get per reset, and they just refuse to do it. I know that this one's for monetary reasons, but there's no reason for certain clan dragons to be utterly useless. And then with the farms, how long have we been waiting for farm upgrades? Oh my gosh, it's been years! It's been years, and we've had, what is it, 2 or 3 max dragon level upgrades since then, and we still don't have farm upgrades. Like, I'm okay. I've got dragons that are basically at max level or close to it, but the ones that suffer the most are the new players trying to catch up. They can't catch up while the farms are like this. And the players that have been playing for so long, like me, we're gonna keep gaining more benefits anyway, so we don't really need to worry too much about it, but God help new players trying to actually finish off the campaign maps. It takes far too long. But anyway, this turned into a mini rant, even though I didn't intend for such. But at least I'm happy we got a new Ancient, right? A new Ancient Divine. He could sit in there with Zalik, and they can, I don't know, look at the trees or something. But Anyway, I hope that you got all of those that you want. It's time to prepare for Primal and the upcoming final Divine event. And I guess until then, I'll go and play Dragon City instead.